Boss base features and cuts are the fundamental features of designing in SolidWorks. All of them are pretty much based on making a sketch and extruding it in 3D. They are located here. Most of them will be grayed out when you first open a part, but will become available once you have one or more sketches. The extruded boss base commands lets you extrude a sketch perpendicularly to the plane you drew it on, so basically just pull it off the plane. You can use this to make device housing, among others. Through the options, you can dictate how far it extrudes based on the dimension by choosing blind, that is chosen by default, a distance from or touching a surface, or a distance from or touching a vertex. You can also extrude it from both sides of the plane by either selecting the mid-plane option to symmetrically extrude it according to dimension, or just select to extrude it in the opposite direction as well as the first direction, with the same options as previously. If you just want to extrude your object in the opposite direction than the one that appeared at first, just press this button. Also note the draft option extrudes the sketch and simultaneously opens it up towards the outside or the inside. You can change the angle that it sticks out from here. If you have multiple closed loops you want to extrude, or you only want to extrude some of them, choose the areas highlighted in red which you want to extrude. Revolved boss bases extrude your sketch around the center line. It can be especially useful when designing shafts and pulleys. You need the sketch and the axis according to which the sketch will be extruded. They can be on the same or in different sketches. The axis itself doesn't even need to be on the sketch. You can use most of the same options as in the extruded boss base command, but this time the blind command works with degrees. A swept boss base extrudes a sketch along another sketch that functions like a guiding path. In combination with the cam made command, see later video, you can use this feature to make belts. Guide curves, though not frequently used for this feature, can alter the shape of the object along the extrusion path. Under options, you can do two important things. Set whether the sketch being extruded should follow the sketch while keeping its original orientation or not through the profile orientation option, and set whether the profile twists until its final position. If you want to make a belt with your guide curve being a closed loop, just let those settings as is. Lofted boss bases are used to connect many sketch profiles with one another, sometimes even with guide curves to make the end product more precise. It is usually used when you cannot make something with a revolved boss base because not all features are concentric, or because one or more of the bases is rectangular or not perfectly circular. Thus, it is not often used in shaft design projects. You can use guide curves here as well, and they are most frequently used in this command. The start and end constraints, which also appear in the swept and in the next feature, dictate how the path should behave in relation to its tendency with the beginning and end faces. You can leave it as is, or toy with it to make the path tangent to the start faces, for example. Boundary boss base works very similar to the lofted boss base command, only now you can also select surfaces and sketches. It is very rare in comparison to the others because there are very few situations where this is useful. The cut commands, in short, work in the reverse way than the extrude, meaning that they subtract material when they are used. Very quickly, extruded cuts are very useful for making keyways. Revolved cuts are very useful for making circular grooves, even though there is a command that does this automatically when you enable the toolbox. The hole wizard is a very useful tool that helps you create holes and threads of standard size. All you need to do is sketch points on where you want your holes to be, exit the sketch, and click on Hole Wizard. There, you can choose from a variety of different hole types, standards, and sizes. Choose the one that best fits your needs. The end conditions work similarly as all the other options. To input the points on which you want the holes to be created, go on the Positions tab and press on all the points you want. Then press OK and you're done. If you want to also thread the hole or make a male thread, press the arrow under the Hole Wizard and select the thread option. A message might pop up, just read it and press OK. You must select the edge on which you want the thread to start, its size, and how long you want it to be. There are also other advanced commands with which you can fool around with. Just bear in mind that the thread will begin from inside the hole or shaft and not actually cut all the way to the start. To fix this, just offset it by some value until the surface that appears comes before the start of the hole or shaft. Press OK and you will be done. The rest are less used and only for specific situations. For simple manufacturing techniques, these commands are more than enough. As you might have observed, many of the features can be used interchangeably to create the same part. For example, A simple sub can be made both with extruded, revolved, and swept features. As a rule of thumb, if your object is simple and only has rectangles and cylinders, use extruded boss bases. If it has complex or multi-dimensional cylinders, use revolved. If there is anything non-linear, non-orthogonal, or more complex, try to go for the other commands. As a note to more experienced users, for more hard or undefined surfaces, opt for the surface section.